Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Monument. Today we'll be having a look at Microsoft Corporation. We'll go for a price analysis and price prediction. As of Tuesday making this video, Microsoft is still the world's most valuable company, and that is extraordinary. Currently sitting at a market cap of 2.5 trillion, while Apple's market cap is 2.461 trillion. Don't get me wrong, Apple will most likely reclaim that extraordinary power in the market. What I find most extraordinary is that I would have never guessed in my wildest imagination that Microsoft would be the most valuable company in the world. That's just extraordinary to think about. Now, before we continue, allow me to declare this video is not financial advice. This video is strictly for entertainment purposes and for educational purposes. Microsoft Loop is a new Office app for the hybrid work era. Now, the biggest change to Microsoft Office documents in the decades is expanding into Microsoft Loop, a hub for a new way of working in Office. Microsoft Loop is a new branding for Microsoft Fluid Work, blocks of collaborative Office content that can live independently and to be copied and pasted and shared with others. Now, Microsoft Loop has three main elements: Loop Components, Loop Pages, and Loop Workspaces. Loop Components are live pieces of content that exist across multiple apps, updated in real time, and free for anyone to jump into. That could be a list shared in the Teams channel and also editable in a Loop page, or notes in calendar entry that are available to be pasted into Outlook and edited in real time with an email. Now, what's really extraordinary is that the Microsoft Loop looks extraordinarily similar to the Notion app. And if you're a user of the Notion app, then you'll understand exactly what I mean. These two applications look practically identical. It all looks too similar to Notion's app. First time I saw this GIF, I actually thought that this was a new update to the Notion app because it's just so similar. But I was quite surprised to realize that actually this is a Microsoft app. Now, there's been outrage on Twitter, people clearly pointing out that this is a clear copy by Microsoft, a complete copy of the Notion's app. Now, there have actually been some very interesting response to the Microsoft clone of Notion on Twitter. I've been wondering when one of the giants was going to wake up and clone Notion. Microsoft takes that prize. And what he means when he says giants, he's talking about big companies such as Apple, companies like that are just absolutely gigantic. Microsoft does not hold back a full Notion clone. Do not underestimate Microsoft's ability to ruthlessly copy what works, moves fast, and leverages unique strategic assets to dominate the market you created. And another one that I really like was from Nordgaard. Microsoft is fully aware that Notion is the enterprise software products of the decade, so they cloned them. There's zero efforts to hide the fact. And that is, again, another truthful statement. There is zero effort put in to hide the fact that they actually cloned the Notion app. Everything looks the same. It looks like a slightly refreshed update to the Notion app. And while this might seem insignificant to a lot of people, while it might seem that it's not important, well, let me just remind you that this sort of thing happens all the time, especially when Apple tends to copy other company and completely erase them from the entire market because Apple is a giant compared to other company. Microsoft is an absolute giant compared to Notion. In other words, Notion does not stand a chance. Especially when you think about how many people are using the Microsoft Office apps, how many people are using Microsoft operating system on their computer. This is not a case where the consumer is going to get an obvious choice to choose which app to use. It's a case where Microsoft is going to push their app. Now, under other circumstances, this will be fine. But under these circumstances, where the app is a complete copy of Notion, it's not fine. And I'm honestly saying this right now, this will end up in a really nasty lawsuit. Because what Microsoft has done is clearly completely wrong. That gigantic companies can just completely copy your business idea, your business app design, and use it to benefit their company. They don't even try to hide the fact that they're copying it. Did Microsoft copy Notion? And this is someone who actually works for Notion. He's a designer, creator at Notion. That's crazy. That's crazy. Microsoft user interface designers at work. Just, copying Notion's design. This is a classic Mr. Bean meme that goes around on the internet all the time. And it's completely fact. I couldn't resist creating this meme because it's so true. Now, as for the Microsoft stocks, I do think that if this company continue on the trajectory it's done in the last 5 years, this company could be looking at around 5 trillion market cap in the next 5 years. Between 4 to 5 trillion market cap in the next 5 years. It's been growing incredibly large. Microsoft is now the world's most valuable company out of nowhere. It just did that unexpectedly. December 2016, Microsoft shares were around $62. If they continue this growth, they will naturally double their share price in 5 years. They will also double their market cap in 5 years, which will put them at $5 trillion market cap. And if Microsoft is going to continue to steal other companies' ideas, well, they will have no problem accomplishing the $5 trillion market cap in 5 years. I can guarantee you that. They have the money to afford any amount of lawyers to defend them. But the saddest part is that they could have just bought the Notion company and used the Notion app. For Microsoft, buying Notion would have been a tiny transaction. Maybe they tried and maybe they were unsuccessful. Maybe the negotiations did not go well at all. So Microsoft decides, you know what? We're just going to screw you over and make a complete design of your own app. So thank you for watching this video today. Subscribe, and of course, I will see you in my next video.